Lagos is Nigeria's nexus of Trans-African Highway, the sub-Saharan African largest ICT market, hub of West and Central African maritime and aviation, the home to over 70% of Nigeria's industrial investment and 65% of its commercial activities. All these are attributed to its sound economic base, strategic maritime location, and socio-political importance. Let's tell you more about this great city on the City of Lagos TV show. Welcome. Welcome to Lagos Update. This is a platform where we bring you latest news information across Lagos State. First, the president of the Greater Lagos Initiative, Prince Adeniyi Olutimei, recently unveiled the Greater Lagos Summit 5.0 at a press briefing at the Bagalto Press Center, Alausa, Lagos. The president, in his presentation, highlighted the importance of the theme, set objectives and expectations at the summit.
This year's summit theme, Power, People and Progress, building an inclusive future through patriotism, egalitarianism, innovation, and people-centric development in Lagos City. It's not a mere poetic cadence. It is a clarion call for renewal patriotism, deepening egalitarian practices. We are inviting all development-minded stakeholders to become co-architects of a summit whose impact will ripple for far beyond the conference walls into policy, community, and history. Strategic stakeholders participation is expected from government, ministry, departments, and agencies, traditional rural and cultural custodians, civil society organizations and advocacy groups, youth-led movements, student union and social entrepreneurs, market leaders, artisans, and the informal sector, academic scholars and policy researchers, journalists, influencers, and the creative community, religious body and interfaith networks, representatives of persons with disability and the underserved community.
Well, that's the wrap on Lagos Update this week. Up next is from the Governor's Office platform, where we bring you recent official engagements of Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-olu. We'll be right back. The business of governance in Lagos State is waxing stronger. And of course, Lagosians are beginning to experience the real transformation of a great city like Lagos. It is no longer news that Lagosians, both local and in diaspora, and of course, the Nigerians generally are beginning to feel the positive impact of transformational growth in the city of Lagos under Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-olu. So what's new from the Governor's Office? Let's find out after this break. We'll be right back. You're welcome back. So first, from the Governor's Office, The Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu-led state government has achieved another great milestone with the recent launch of the 500 billion naira Produce for Lagos off-take fund and program in Lagos State. The historic event, which saw strategic state governors, members of the Federal Executive Council, assembly members, traditional rulers, and private sector players, indicates the state government's deliberate effort to expound the food economic infrastructure of Lagos State and Nigeria. The governor, in his speech, highlighted the strategic value, benefits, and futuristic advantage of the launch not only to Lagos, but to the entire country.
The Produce for Lagos program, which we are launching here today, is therefore the next level, which is the logical step that we must be able to tick on our roadmap. The program will provide guaranteed offtake contracts. It will help to finance access. It will help to create logistics support. It will help to connect directly to the Lagos dynamic food economy. It will certainly boost agricultural production. It will reduce reliance on informal and uncoordinated supply channels. It will definitely create millions and millions of jobs for our young people, and it will eventually increase the economic returns for all of us in the entire ecosystem and every stakeholder in the agri value chain. And so you can see that it's an end-to-end, well-thought-out initiative that we're here launching. We believe that when we implement all of this, it will help us through the Lagos State Food System Infrastructure Company, LASFINCO, which is also supported by an SPV with the likes of the Lagos Bulk Trading Company, the Ecolog Logistics on the Produce for Lagos hub. You saw outside, which we're going to launch, we're going to have over 150 just as a test, 40-foot, trucks, and like it's been said, they are all on LNG. They can travel to the farthest part of the country on just a full tank and return back to Lagos without needing to look for any petrol station because they are all being driven on LNG. And I think this is the first of its type, which is a big initiative for us as a country and as a state. And so for us, the 500 billion is just a tip. And you begin to see that some of our friends in the private sector are beginning to show numbers. And like we said, even before we got here, we've gotten commitments of over 100 billion naira already. Some of them are seated here. They might not want to come forward to re-emphasize it, but I can assure you that even before we came in here today, we've gotten commitments of over 100 billion. And so the conversation is around Taraba and Niger and Kogi, who takes them home. Taraba is here saying to me that he's happy because half of that will go with him. Niger pulls me from this other side and says that more than half of it will go. Ogun, my brother from Gateway, also says that he's not going to take care of all my chicken feeds and all of that. He wants part of it. My brother from Kogi says that he's now the real food basket. He wants part of it. For us, it's a all positive conversation. My brother from Jigawa couldn't come, but Malaji Farouk is here. They also want to be part of it. So it is a conversation that everybody that truly, really wants to participate in an end-to-end food logistics hub, this is the fund for you. This is the opportunity for you. There is no PDP or APC or everybody. It is a Nigerian conversation. It's a Nigerian story. And that is what Mr. President want all of us to do.
The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Abisola Olusoya, briefed the press about the rationale of the launch, which she also reiterated at the event in her opening speech.
Today is not a leap of faith, but a leap of strategy. Produce for Lagos is not just about Lagos, but linking this great city to every root, stock, and grain grown across the Federation, and saying to our sister states, if you grow it, Lagos will take it, with dignity, structure, and guaranteed offtake. In Lagos, we are blessed to have a governor and a deputy governor who have since inception not viewed agriculture as an afterthought, but as the backbone of social equity, security, and a lever for youth employment. This program is their stamp on the future and blueprint for how private sector and states can collaborate, not compete, in the work of feeding our people. So I welcome you all today, not only to witness this launch, but to become part of this legacy, to join hands as off-takers, farmers, lenders, policymakers, processors, truckers, retailers, chefs, and food advocates in the story of how we change the course of our food systems and transform the lives of millions for the better.
The determination to drive, sustain, and strengthen its administration's gender equality, inclusive economic growth, and financial empowerment of women in Lagos State. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-olu, recently launched the Lagos State Women's Economic Empowerment WE Policy Roadmap. The policy roadmap, which is a great initiative powered by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation under the able leadership of the Honorable Commissioner, Mrs. Cecilia Dada, is an affirmation of WAPA's determination to change the fortunes and future of women.
It is with deep honor and great enthusiasm that I welcome you all to the official launch of the Women's Economic Empowerment Policy and Roadmap in Lagos State. A significant step forward in our commitment to inclusive growth, gender equity, and sustainable development. Today is not just the unveiling of a policy, it is the affirmation of a collective resolve to break barriers, expand opportunities, and elevate the economic power of women across Lagos State. This roadmap offers a well-defined strategy to address the systemic challenges limiting women's participation in the economy, from limited access to finance and skills to gender-based constraints in both traditional and emerging sectors. Through a rigorous 12-month domestication process enriched by stakeholder dialogue, co-creation workshops, grassroots engagement, and validation exercises, we have developed a policy that is practical, people-driven, and inclusive of every segment of the female population, including the yaologists, the professionals, and the women living with disability. The policy is anchored on 5 pillars. Number 1 is agriculture. The second is traditional labor force, education and skill acquisition, emerging industries, and women in entrepreneurship. The policy outlines clear, actionable strategies which are to expand women's access to finance, digital platforms, market linkages, and entrepreneurial support, to break down gender stereotypes that inhibit women's participation in high-growth and non-traditional industries, to address socio-cultural and infrastructural limitations that restrict women's progress, especially at the grassroots level.
In his speech, Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu noted the strategic relevance and potentials of the policy, which he noted affirms his administration's sensitivity to women empowerment.
We're not just launching a roadmap, we're actually taking an initiative that will reflect on our administration's unwavering commitment at ensuring that gender equality and inclusive economic growth is not just something that we're verbalizing, it's something that we're putting action into. And we're working it with all of you, great women that have come out, about 38 of you, as leaders, as champions, so that we can all design and walk this path together. You know where our state is. You know where we sit. You know Lagos is the economic powerhouse. We've seen that despite all of our economic vibrancy, our women still need to be encouraged. Our women still need to be put in the right place. They constitute, from the record, over half of our population. But they continue to face several challenges. Barriers in economy, barriers in education, barriers around skill acquisition. They have less access to finance. We're not even giving them enough space in position of leadership in the political setup. Participation and traditional and industry engagement. We have not given them the right place fully in technology and in agriculture. And so the whole essence of today is for us to all agree and to begin to drive a change. To drive a change. Like Mrs. Okelola said, we need to also have another meeting like this that will have about 80% men, so that they will know that indeed we're serious about this. That indeed, if they are not aware, you have since launched the Women Economic Empowerment in Lagos State. And you men now need to listen and listen well. So that we're not speaking, when I say we now, women, we're not speaking all just to among ourselves. We need to also now flip it, and they know that we're serious about this. Understand? And please let us design in, call all of them. Male permanent secretary, male commissioners, male House of Assembly members, male private sector leaders, so that they hear it and they know that indeed it's a call for action and it's something that we want to make intentional and very deliberate. And so the We Policy Roadmap, which has been very thoroughly developed by our Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation in a strategic, forward-thinking framework, which is designed to address some of the systemic challenges that I just mentioned. This roadmap, I believe, aligns very well with our own development agenda and also speaks from what the representative of the Honorable Minister from Abuja also said with the National Policy Framework, and it sits with the global commitments of the Sustainable Development Goals.
Well, that draws up the curtain from the Governor's Office platform on the City of Lagos TV show. Thanks for watching. Today on our Lagos Agencies in Focus platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria, we're proud to present to you an exclusive special one-on-one interview with the Chief Medical Director of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT. Interestingly, it was indeed a revealing experience about the giant strides of LASUT when it has to do with delivering quality tertiary health care to Lagosians and, of course, to Nigerians. Join us. You're still watching the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Welcome to Lagos Agencies in Focus. And of course, on this broadcast, we're going to be taking a look at the health sector. Considering the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu, health is a very strategic and critical player or pillar of that developmental agenda. And when you look at health, especially from the tertiary health care system, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital is a very strategic health agency that has taken great steps to provide quality tertiary health care, not only to Lagosians and of course to Nigerians. And so today on Lagos Agencies in Focus, we're going to be taking a look at the giant strides, achievements, the health policy initiatives, the level of health facilities and services provided by the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LASUT, under the very able leadership of the Chief Medical Director, Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, on Lagos Agencies in Focus. Prof, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you. First, let's get to know you, Prof. You are one individual that has made significant landmark in the health sector. Can you give us a very profound but precise profile of your personality and your professional background?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you, and it's a pleasure to be speaking about our agency, the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, GRA Ikeja. Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo. I am trained as an obstetrician and gynecologist. As a matter of fact, I am a professor of obstetrics and gynecology, recently retired from the Lagos State University College of Medicine. Attended Government College Ibadan, the very famous Government College Ibadan, University of Ife, Ile-Ife, as a pioneer medical student. Did my residency training in the University College Hospital Ibadan, as well as the Rotunda Hospital in Dublin, Ireland. Rotunda Hospital is the largest maternity in the world, and they carry out about 30,000 deliveries per annum. It's a very busy maternity. I spent 1 year there, and after my training as an obstetrician, I came to Lagos, and I joined the public service in Lagos as a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist in the then General Hospital Ikeja. And we worked there until I did my rural posting in General Hospital Badagry. And then we were recalled to start Ayinke House. I was one of the pioneer consultants that started Ayinke House in 1990. And in 1993, I was elevated to become the medical director of Ayinke House. And this was until 1996, when I had to have a 3-year sojourn at the Lagos Island Maternity Hospital, and I came back to Ayinke House for the second time as a medical director in 1999. I don't think it has ever happened before in public service. I am a two-time medical director of Ayinke House. And I held this position until democracy came in 1999. By the way, I'm a fellow of the Medical College of Obstetrics and Gynecology. I'm a fellow of the West African College of Surgeons. I'm a fellow of the West African College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. I'm a fellow of the International College of Surgeons. I'm a fellow of the National Academy of Science, and I'm a fellow of the Academy of Medical Specialties as well. But apart from medicine, I'm also a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, and also the fellow of the Institute of Policy Management and Leadership Development. So there are so many fellowships that I have.
Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo is a full pack. So, Prof, with a brief historical background of the establishment of LASUT, what is the core mandate, the vision and mission statement of LASUT?
In 1999, then Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu, now Mr. President, decided to support the establishment of a teaching hospital because Governor Buba Marwa had already established a medical school in 1997. And for the medical school to thrive, you needed a teaching hospital. So it was the lot of Governor Tinubu then to start a teaching hospital. So many options were considered. The option of building afresh a teaching hospital was considered, but that was going to be very expensive. So the old General Hospital Ikeja was adopted to form the nucleus of the teaching hospital. And I was the pioneer director of clinical services and training of the evolving teaching hospital at that time. By the way, the core mandate is to provide advanced tertiary services and provide a laboratory for the training of health professionals like medical doctors, graduate nurses, pharmacists, medical lab scientists, and so on and so forth. That's our core mandate. The vision statement is to be a center of excellence in healthcare delivery, and our mission is to provide high quality, manage primary as well as tertiary healthcare service in a friendly environment where patient satisfaction is the ultimate. So those are the statements that drive our service delivery.
So, Prof, how strategic and relevant is LASUT in the Themes Plus agenda of Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu? And to what extent does LASUT actually lift up to the expectations of the development plan?
The Themes Plus agenda, the second pillar, obviously is health and environment. So we are relevant. And in health, there are three levels of care: the primary level, the secondary level, and the tertiary level. The primary level is made up of the health centers and health posts, and the secondary is made up of the general hospitals. And I think as we speak, there are about 30 of them in Lagos State. The tertiary is made up of the teaching hospital, and as we speak, we are the only teaching hospital in Lagos State. So the way it works is that referrals are generated from the primary level through the secondary and then the tertiary. So we are positioned to handle very advanced medical cases, and we have been able to do that. So clearly, we have fulfilled that mandate.
Thank you very much, Prof. Now, we all know that tertiary healthcare system is the highest level of care that provides specialized services through a teaching hospital like LASUT. Lagosians and Nigerians would like to know, what are those unique quality international standard healthcare facilities and, of course, specialized health services offered by LASUT?
Thank you very much. But let me first start by saying that it is not totally correct that we only provide tertiary services. We have also logged into the health insurance scheme of government. So we are obliged to provide some kind of primary level care. So we have a Department of Family Medicine which provides primary health care under the LASHMA scheme. Okay. But coming back to the question, we provide certain advanced services that may not necessarily be found in any other public hospital in Nigeria. Let me start by talking about open heart surgery. We are one of the 2 or 3 centers in Nigeria that performs regular open heart surgery. And let me explain. Open heart surgery is not bread and butter. In open heart surgery, you actually open the heart, stop it, repair whatever you need to repair on it, and then restart it. It's like playing God.
So why do most people go abroad for this?
Well, a lot of people have now realized that the service is available in LASUT, so we are currently oversubscribed. The only limitation is the cost. So a lot of our patients are sponsored patients because the out-of-pocket payment may not be feasible for a lot of individuals. We do kidney transplantations also on a regular basis. And when I'm talking about performing these advanced surgeries, I'm talking about using local resource. We have gone past the time when expatriates used to come and carry out these surgeries for us. Now we are on autopilot. These surgeries are being done by our own surgeons. We do cochlear implants. Cochlear implant is like making the deaf to hear again. It's like magic, and it's an advanced surgery, yes. So people who had been deaf all their life can come and they can have a cochlear implant and they can hear again. We do microvascular surgery. That means we use microscopes to operate, to repair certain tissues, which is again is an advanced type of surgery. We carry out what we call laparoscopic surgery. That is keyhole surgery. We can perform surgery by just going through a tiny hole in the tummy. We do that in our Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. We do that also in our Department of Surgery. So these are some of the things. We also carry out assisted reproduction. we can make babies. So we offer hope to a lot of infertile women who cannot conceive naturally. So we have a facility where we can assist them to have babies. We do lithotripsy. Lithotripsy is using a machine to break stones in the body. We are the only public hospital that has a lithotripsy machine. We can break stones in the kidney, we can break stones in the gallbladder, and then the stone will dissolve and come out. So the patient would not need to have an open surgery to remove the stone. So these are some of the things that we do that are of advanced nature.
Thank you very much. Are medical treatments, operations in LASUT, are they affordable compared to the private sector?
Oh, clearly so. I can give you a genuine, valid information that in the past 4 years, we haven't touched the fees that we charge in LASUT. And you would agree with me that in the past 4 years, the cost of everything has skyrocketed. It was only about 4 weeks ago that we applied some minimal increases to our charges. But even then, our fees are clearly very affordable, clearly lower than what you would find, in the private sector.
So, Prof, since you came on board, you've been in and out, you've been around for a long while. Can you tell us some of those landslide, giant stride achievements of LASUT since you came on board?
I'll categorize them into 3. I'll talk about infrastructure. Then I'll talk about clinical services. I've mentioned some of them. Then I'll talk about involvement in middle power training. When we talk about infrastructure, since we came on board, we've been able to attract to LASUT partners who have put up some very formidable structures for us. For instance, the former Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Mrs. Adejoke Adefulure, through the avenue of the Sustainable Development Goals Office in Abuja, has erected 2 structures in LASUT. One of them is a multi-purpose building which houses private wards, general wards, dental clinic, and family planning clinic, immunization clinic, family medicine clinic, and many other facilities. The other is the Pediatric Sickle Cell Center, which is another very imposing building that caters for the needs of children who are suffering from the sickle cell disease. So it's a one-stop shop for children who have sickle cell disease. They can get all their treatment there and so on and so forth. Currently nearing completion also by SDG is an executive suite that we house 6 patients at a time. These are luxurious suites, the kind of suites that you will find in Dubai or in the UK, where high net worth individuals can stay and have their treatment or their checkups. So that's coming up. It's going to be rounded up before the end of the year. Rotary Club of Ikeja, GRA, give us a building which is now a transit lodge. It houses both relations of patients who have come to look after their loved ones but who would not be able to go home to sleep for very minimal fee. Also, patients who are coming from the hinterland who have clinic appointments, who may wish to stay over in Lagos for the night so that they can be up and early for their clinic appointments, can also stay in the place. The Rotary Club of Maryland gave us a very large waste disposal area, ultra modern, yes. Also, the Redeemed Church is building for us a 4-story building for pediatric oncology. These are children with cancers. It's ongoing. Then there is a benefactor who wishes to remain anonymous. He's a Lagosian, but he wants to remain anonymous. He's giving us also a 4-story eye hospital. Now, our strategic infrastructural development plan is to go upwards now. We are choked for space, and we inherited a lot of bungalows. Many of them are dilapidated now. So what is going on now is that a lot of the bungalows are going down, and they are being replaced by multi-story buildings. So that's how we are managing the space. Also, since I came, I looked into the law of Lassuth, and I found that one of our mandates is to set up training institutions to provide middle-level cadre of health workers. So as we speak, we have 6 functional training institutions, and 2 more are expected to start before the end of the year. We have a school of anesthetic technology that trains technicians to assist anesthetists in the theater. We have a school of orthopedic cast technology that trains technicians to help orthopedic surgeons in applying POP to accident victims, etc., etc. We have a school of echocardiography, which is to train technicians to handle the echocardiography machine. We also have a caregiver academy, which is training skilled caregivers, majorly for export. Still on the some of the things we've done, we started a postgraduate diploma in hospital administration and management, and this has now been affiliated with the Lagos State University School of Management Sciences and accredited by the National University Commission. So with this diploma, civil servants who are hospital administrators who acquire this diploma can advance beyond level 14 in their career. So we are the first. Luth was doing it, and a lot of our staff used to go to Luth to acquire the diploma, but they've stopped. So we started it, and it's up and running as we speak. Also, we have a school of advanced neonatal studies, whereby we train doctors and nurses in the management of newly born babies. Then we have coming up the School of Paramedics. We are going to be the first public hospital to train paramedics. Paramedics are first responders at disaster scenes. For instance, if there's an accident, these are the people that will go there. They are not doctors, they are not nurses, but they've been trained to know what to do at a disaster scene. So we are going to start training them. They will complement the Lasambos operations of the state government. Also, we are starting a nephrology nursing school. This is to train nurses who would be helping doctors who treat kidney diseases, because now we have a very high rate of kidney diseases. A lot of people need dialysis and kidney transplants. So we want to train a crop of nurses that would assist the nephrologists.
Prof, but in the face of brain drain, which is more like a phenomenon in Nigeria, what is your management doing to sustain retainership of your highly competent health professionals?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying clearly the very first thing we are doing is to ensure that we provide a conducive work environment. Because one of the reasons why health workers relocate abroad is the complaint that they don't have a conducive work environment, they don't have equipment to work with. That is not our story in Lassuth. We are providing a conducive environment, we have equipment to work with. As a matter of fact, we are the only public hospital that has a cardiac catheterization laboratory. This is a very advanced laboratory which saves lives. People that have heart attacks, people that have pulmonary embolism, if they are brought in on time, they can be saved in that laboratory. We are the only public hospital that has it. In that wise, we provide that environment. People feel that they are working in an institution that has all the required equipment. That is on the one hand. On the second hand is the fact that Mr. Governor has supported us in ensuring that the exit replacement program is ongoing and is regular. Mr. Governor has done a lot in putting in place good remunerations for workers in general and also health workers in particular. Also, our senior doctors, they have no attraction to travel abroad because we have provided means for them to carry out intramural private practice. So we have facilities for them to, in their spare time, to be able to operate on patients and charge their fees in their spare time. So they are making extra money. They have no cause to want to relocate.
A success, very good success story, sir. Now, let's look at the level of partnership, collaboration, and synergy between LASUT and other state MDAs, the private health institutions, and of course, other organizations. What has been that level of synergy?
We've been very open to partnership. To start with, partnership with other public health institutions is statutory. General hospitals refer patients to us. Some general hospitals send doctors to us and nurses for training. For instance, a particular general hospital that wanted to start a small intensive care unit sent their proposed intensive care nurses to us for a 2-month exposure in our own intensive care unit. So we do that. The College of Nursing in Igondo sends their students here for exposure. Okay, so that's partnership. Some universities, about 5 of them, including Mountain Top, Babcock, etc., they send their student nurses here for exposure in terms of their training. Then benefactors have found us a good place to come to. For instance, in our open heart surgeries, there are 1 or 2 or 3 major groups that support patients. The Redeemed Church, for instance, supports cardiac patients and pays their fees. There's a particular philanthropist I may not want to name who also regularly supports patients. And then, as I said before, we have an affiliation with the John Academy in the UK, such that when our students are training, they also run courses with the John Academy. So by the time they are graduating, they have our own certificate, and they also have an international certificate from John Academy, which can be used internationally.
Well, it's been a wonderful time speaking with you, Prof. And of course, obviously, you've actually done a lot as an individual and, of course, as a teaching hospital. Now, technology, health technology has gone to highly advanced level. Have you started exploring artificial intelligence? Just give us a deep insight into the health technology capacity.
There is no institution or organization that will go anywhere without incorporating artificial intelligence, now or in the future. So we've seen that, and we're going to do that. And like I said, and as you have rightly pointed out, we've done a lot along that line. Talk about the cardiac cath lab, for instance. It's technology driven. The lithotripsy is technology driven. Endoscopic surgery is technology driven. Our assisted reproduction unit is technology driven. Now we can talk about automation. We have started on an automation project, and we already have about 4 pilot departments that are fully automated in LASUT. Of course, our accounts department is fully automated on its own. So we have latched on to technology, and we also practice telemedicine, and that involves that sometimes we can pick up conversations with doctors abroad concerning the management of patients.
Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, the Chief Medical Director of Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, has been our guest on the Lagos Agencies in Focus, and it's been quite impressive and expository listening to the Professor of Health giving us a clear picture of efforts and initiatives of LASUT to provide quality tertiary health care to Lagosians and Nigerians. So, Prof, how would you describe Governor Babajide Sanwo-olu's support?
It's awesome. And the reason, I'll tell you the secret. During the time of the governor's campaign, I was opportuned to be part of a team that received him in a particular venue. And I had an opportunity to speak at that venue. This must have been February or March 2019. He was elected in May, or he was inaugurated in May 2019. And at that forum, I spoke as the CMD of LASUT, and I mentioned to, then he was a candidate, that whenever I came in, he should remember LASUT and support LASUT. And he gave his word. And since he came in, he had been very supportive. There was no time that we asked for anything that he didn't grant us. Let me give you an example. He was on a visit here at a time. And at that time, we were on independent power project supply, which meant that we were getting power, free of charge from IPP. But we had the foresight that IPP may fail or may collapse. So on that occasion, we mentioned to Mr. Governor that we wanted to reconnect to PHCN. And he said, why? And we explained to him, we wanted it as a backup to IPP, that as a hospital, we cannot afford to go without life. And he said, okay, bring up the estimate. And we did. And they approved it. Guess what? IPP was stopped. We started the PSCM project. The week that IPP was stopped was the week that the PSCM project was concluded.
Wow, fantastic.
So we did not have one day of blackout in LASUT. And that was because he supported us. He gave us the approval. And there had been so many other instances like that. So Mr. Governor had been very supportive. I'm always talking about his goodwill to this hospital. I think, but for him, we wouldn't be where we are today. And he supports all the efforts of our third-party partners. Once we tell him, he tells us just go ahead. Yeah.
For every success story, there are definitely challenges. So can we share some of those challenges of LASUT and what effort are you making to mitigate against them?
Major challenge as we speak is power. We are connected to PHCN. The cost is astronomical. This is Ikeja GRA, it's band A. Monthly cost for paying PHCN bills is almost 100 million naira. And it's hurting us, really. So, but we know that we are going back to IPP soon. Even though it's not going to be free again, we have been told. But we imagine that it may never be as costly as what we are doing with PHCN.
So tell us about safety and security of personnel and of patients.
Right. Safety of our patients and our staff is guaranteed. This is a closed environment. We have security men, both Lagos State employed and facility manager employed. We have CCTV coverage of the whole premises. Also, we've just trained some special marshals that are rapid response forces, because we suffer from frequent cases of assault on health workers by aggrieved relations. It happens a lot of times. Somebody loses his father, he gets very angry. He believes that the people have been negligent. He starts, making trouble and so on and so forth. So we get that a lot. So we've now developed a rapid response squad that will quell such situations. So generally speaking, our staff and our patients are safe. We hardly have incidents of serious crimes against our patients.
So, Prof, let's look at the future, projected plans, initiatives to sustain these achievements. What are the plans ahead?
I did not mention to you that even though we are called tertiary, but when we came in, our ambition was quaternary. We wanted to be quaternary. Quaternary is a fourth generation kind of hospital, which meant that we wanted to do things that tertiary hospitals are not doing. So that's the future of the LASUTH that I see. The LASUTH of the future will be a LASUTH that is carrying out medical interventions, the type that you can only find in very sophisticated developed world countries hospital. And that's what we are working at. So we are doing that by ensuring that we send our core staff for advanced training. That's what India did. I've been in India before, so I know what happened there. India made a deliberate effort to send their staff abroad, to the US, to the UK for training, but they ensured they came back. As we speak, we are planning to send 2 of our consultants to an Indian hospital for training as intensivists. As we speak, there is no hospital that has trained intensivists. So we want to have intensivists. Intensivists are consultant anesthetists that have been specially trained to look after critically ill patients on a minute-by-minute basis. Okay, so 2 of our consultants are gearing up to go abroad. And when they come back, they work in our critical care unit as intensivists. And that will be quaternary care, because this will not be something that you find in your run-of-the-mill teaching hospital. Okay, so that's what we're doing. It's a deliberate thing to equip our staff, both nurses and doctors and other health workers, for the future.
Thank you very much, Prof. So, on a final note, sir, what are the words of assurance to your various partners, health stakeholders, personnel, and of course the Lagosians in general?
Right, thank you very much. Let me start with Lagosians, and I'd like to say that Lagos State University Teaching Hospital will continue to provide excellent advanced tertiary services to Lagosians. We are constrained by bed spaces, but we are taking measures to increase our bed spaces. Also, to our partners, of course, our partners have confidence in us. They know that whatever they put in place here will be well maintained and well managed, and so they come here all the time. So I like to say that if we continue to enjoy the kind of support that we are getting from government, we will continue to do wonders in Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. To Nigerians as a whole, I like to say that states and state governments and state governors should borrow from the example of Governor Sanwo-olu and invest in health. A lot of our colleagues in other states are complaining that their governors are not showing interest in their teaching hospitals. We are actually privileged, highly privileged, to be in Lagos.
Professor Oyedepo Fabanwo, thank you, sir,
Okay.
for coming on the Lagos Agencies in Focus. Well, it's been a wonderful time speaking with Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, who is the Chief Medical Director, CMD of the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital. Interestingly, we're taking away few facts. And the facts are that LASUTH is just, at least we can say, one of the best teaching hospitals in Nigeria. And considering the various giant strides and future intentions and projections of the teaching hospital, Nigerians, when it comes to quality healthcare, LASUTH is just the answer. And for us, it's just a game changer in the health sector. The City of Lagos TV show will continue in a moment. Stay tuned. As the economic capital and major port of Africa's most populous nation, the City of Lagos TV show will continue to expand and project the great potentials and future prospects of the City of Lagos on TV Nigeria. Thanks for watching.